Hello and welcome along to this week's update show where I'm going to be talking to you about SharePoint, Stream and of course Microsoft Teams. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome along to week 5 of the Microsoft 365 update show. My name's Paul Dredge, Microsoft MVP, and I'm here to tell you all about the latest updates of the past week. So looking at the updates that have come out, there's a couple around SharePoint. So SharePoint has had a bit of an update around its web parts for events. As we know, when we're adding events as a web part, really handy thing to do to alert people in our organisation of what is happening, what upcoming events are happening. But now it's going to allow you to preview images from the event view. So when we've got our different dates of events that are coming, we're going to have that image preview displayed on there so we don't have to go into the event to get it. So it's just going to give us a bit more visuals around when we're adding those web parts. Only this week I tried this out, took it for a little test drive with updating some of the Microsoft events out there, some of the group events, working group events out there, and it looked so much nicer. We've been able to have those images on display within there. This was on target release back in March earlier this year, so some of us may have been using this for a while, but standard release is going to be for everyone by the end of August time. So look out for that one if you haven't got it already. Sticking with SharePoint, we have a news boost. So when you post news in SharePoint, obviously it posts it for people to see. If you use audience targeting, then it will only go to the specific people that we want that news to go to. But what we're going to get is a news boost. So let's say I post some news, I don't know, earlier in the week, and all of a sudden this Friday I want to give it a bit of a boost, make sure everyone's read it, put it in the limelight, the highlight of people, so I can select that boost and choose a date, and it's going to send that news article out again for people to see. So it's going to catch those people's eyes again. As always, SharePoint seems to be adding new little features here and there, and I can't wait for the big ones to drop when it comes to Viva connections. So watch this space, but we're seeing these little incremental updates happening through SharePoint just to make it that even a little bit better. Moving over to Microsoft Stream now. Stream has had a couple of updates. The first one I want to talk about is default meetings. So if we're meeting in Microsoft Teams, then we have an option to change where our meeting recordings are saved to. So whether they're saved in the user's OneDrive, who kicks off the meeting, or if we're doing a channel meeting, then saves into the SharePoint site attached to that team. That was an optional thing that we can do. Microsoft did announce that on the 7th of July that will be mandatory, so it will be forced upon people to use the new stream. So classic streamers, we'll call it, wouldn't have any meetings saved in there. They'll be saved in OneDrives or SharePoints. Microsoft haven't met that deadline for a number of reasons, but the new deadline now is the 16th of August, so that is coming up. So from the 16th of August, no new meetings will be recorded in Classic Stream. They will be recorded in New Stream, let's call it, where it's going to save into someone's OneDrive or into someone's SharePoint. There has been a lot of development around that, so if you have looked at it previously, then you might have realised that it is just showing the video. We lost a lot of the accessibility tools in there, but now Microsoft are putting those back in. Transcription is something that wasn't there. So one of the big advantages of using Stream for video content was being able to have a transcription down the right hand side of our video and being able to search that transcription. Well, the first step of New Stream having that in is the fact that we're going to be able to have that transcription again on that right hand side of our video if you have started a transcription for that meeting. This is looking to be completed by late September and starting to roll out by mid-August time. So we may see that propping up for some of us. Some of you may have to wait until the end of September to see that update. Just sticking with Stream, another little one there that wasn't in the new Stream. Don't ask me why Microsoft didn't put these features in when we first announced that it was going to be changed. Big thing missed there. But slowly they're coming in. So another little update is variable playback speed. Something I used a lot. I was always watching back meetings and so on. And one of my biggest bugbears was if there's an hour meeting that I missed, I didn't want to watch it back and spend an hour doing it. So I used to speed it up, double speed, 1.5 speed, and you could still take in that information. Did sound a bit like the chipmunks were hosting the meeting, but we were able to consume it in a less amount of time than it would have been attending the meeting. So that feature hasn't been in the new world of Stream, but that is coming very, very shortly. So early August, we should start seeing that. Early September is when it will be fully rolled out to all of us. So within the next month or so, we should see that playback speed where you can click on the little cog and we can change that playback speed to the speed we prefer, so we can sort of consume that in a quicker amount of time. Moving over to Microsoft Teams, there's not been too many big updates around Teams, but one of them is around presentation in meetings. Some of you may have seen the update previously around when we're presenting and you could have yourself overlaid on your video, on what you were screen sharing. Sort of hit and miss with how it worked to start with, but it's getting there. But there's going to be new ways of doing that as well now. So we're going to start seeing the side-by-side view. So you can have your presentation on the side, your camera next to it. A bit like how we have it in live events if you've used live events before. So our camera isn't going to be hidden away amongst the other people's cameras. It's going to bring our camera to the forefront, presentation or whatever it is we're sharing, and then our camera next to it. And then we're also going to be having that reporter view, as it's called. So ourselves overlaid on top of what it is we're presenting. So it's going to be a real nice way for the focus to be on you as well as your presentation, rather than just what you're presenting or screen sharing. Because that's been one of the biggest problems with using Teams, is when you go to present or share something, you sort of disappear into the background and what it is you're showing comes to the forefront. Where it's going to be really nice for people to be able to focus on you and your presentation. This is going to be rolling out mid-August and complete by mid-September. Some of us out there who are on the Teams preview, you can already use this functionality. Just beware, because I know previously, I haven't tested myself, but previously with the preview of this, if other people weren't in Teams preview, they were just greeted with a black screen rather than seeing you overlaid on top of it. So maybe a little bit of testing if you are looking at preview, but once we reach that full release in mid-August to mid-September, we'll all be able to make use of it. One other small little update then to finish up with this week is pinning chat messages. I'm sure this was around before and didn't quite work, so Microsoft sort of retracted on it, but it's coming out now mid-August to end of August, where we're going to be able to pin certain chat messages to the top of our message thread. So if there's that key information, key message that we need to make sure we're seeing, we can pin that and it's going to appear at the top of our chat thread. So not in our Teams conversations, this is in our chat aspect of Microsoft Teams. Could be really useful if there's a key bit of information that you're talking to your colleagues about that you need to refer back to without having to search through the big long chat. Because we all know Microsoft Teams doesn't have the best of search functionalities for us to use. Okay, so that's quickly condensed some of the updates coming out this past week that we're to look forward to. Lots of other news happening around, but these are the ones we've focused on this week. As always, please hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to make sure you get those notifications when new videos come out. And this has been Paul Dredge and the Microsoft 365 Update Show. See you again soon. Thank you.